Hey there everybody and welcome. It's Jackie here from stampingjack.com. It is Friday the 21st of January, so it's time for this week's live, albeit 2 days late, so apologies we didn't make it on Wednesday, but you know how it goes, work gets in the way yet again. So let me just double check that we're live in the right places, and when you arrive just leave me a comment below. So I know you're here, say hi. Hopefully we'll be able to read comments this week. I can see people joining in. Hi Sue, good to see you, welcome. Good, so let me just double check my setup. Make sure I can see what I'm doing. How are you, Sue? How's everybody doing? How are you? What are your plans for the weekend now that it is Friday? Hi, Kat. Welcome. Good to see you. I hope all your weekends have started. I hope you've got nice plans for this weekend. I have a bit of a confession to make. My Christmas tree and Christmas decorations are still up. So this weekend I'll be de-Christmasing the house. So I know it's supposed to be bad luck to keep the decorations up this late, but hey-ho. I actually hate taking the Christmas decorations down. I don't know about you guys, but apart from the joy of repackaging the Christmas tree lights, I just feel that the house looks really drab and sad and everything after you've taken all the Christmas decorations down. So I don't know what you guys do to alleviate that. Hi Diane, welcome. So if you haven't done so already, I'd love it if you would share this video. If you're watching this on the YouTube replay, then give me a thumbs up. That'd be fantastic. So tonight, I've got some fun projects with you playing with the Sweet Conversations suite. So this is obviously a stamp set and some fantastic dies. So for me, even though this is kind of Valentine's themed, I have one husband, and that's usually all the Valentine's cards I make in a year, if I even make him one, because we don't really do the whole Valentine's thing between us. Not because we're unromantic, but we just take the opportunity whenever we can to tell each other we love each other, rather than at an appointed time of the year. So I don't really have much cause for Valentine's cards, but you always have reason to have hearts, and I love these, and I love the stamps that they remind me of the Love Hearts sweets. And then the other thing I like about these dies is that you'll see I'm just putting them back in because I've been playing around with them, but they have the capacity to cut out lots and lots of little hearts. So you can see I've been having some fun playing around with these, and I've just die cut myself a load of hearts here. So we've got this long one here cuts out this like a border, and then that's solid, so you can just pop out those hearts. So I've got myself lots of almost like confetti, so it's dead easy. Sometimes when you've got a die set, if you have just one teeny tiny heart like that, you're just forever cutting out your hearts, whereas this way you've got you can just do loads all at once. And then this one here cuts out this shape, which creates a fun little envelope. So we've got some fun stuff in here. So anyway, the reason I was telling you that I don't really do Valentine's Day is because I'm also going to be I'm going to be teaming this one up with the Hello Beautiful stamp set, because we've got some other sentiments in here, and I'm going to be using some of these backgrounds as well. So you'll recall, if you're a regular here, that this is one of this stamp set, and these dies are my top pick from the new catalogue. And then I've just brought in a couple of other stamp sets in case we need some sentiments. So the projects I've got for you tonight are, I'll try to keep sort of clean and simple sort of a style, because that's kind of what this stamp set says to me. So, okay, let's get straight into it, shall we? Actually, no, what I want to do before I get started is just a couple of reminders for you. So don't forget the paper share. So I've got a few of you signed up already. There's a couple of spots left. So if you want to get in on that, just leave me a message here or send me an email. I'll be taking orders for that until the 25th of this month, which is next week. Stamp Club. So we've got a couple of spots on the one that's starting this month. So if you want to join in, then do let me know. Basically, this is where we run a club for 6 months, and each month you commit to spending £25 or more, and then one of those months you get to be the host and get the host benefits or the host rewards. So every time an order goes above £150, you get 10%, so you get £15 to spend for free. In reality, we ran this club this year, and in reality, I think most people, when they were the host, got between £20 and £50 worth of credits because of the volume of orders that went through. So it's a great way to spread the cost of what you want to get, because no doubt when a new catalogue comes out, you've got tons of stuff. So it's a great way to spread that, and it's also, I find, and I know some of the participants in last time's Stamp Club, was that it gives you an opportunity to just get a little, play with that, and then get another bit and play with that. So actually, you get more fun and time out of your stuff, whereas sometimes if you get it all in one go in a really big box, which is tempting, you don't really get round to it, or it can be a bit overwhelming. So just doing it little by little can be a lot better for your creative juices. And of course, you know, it's January. Things can be a bit tight after the Christmas splurge. So again, it's a good way of still getting your hands on stuff. And I do send out extra gifts and presents to the hosts and things during the club. So we still, the official closing date for that was yesterday. But as I say, we still got a couple of spots. So unless the spots are filled, I can't run the club unless it's full. So I'd love it if you would sign up and join in. That'd be great. So we can get that one running. So I've got a question here from Jeanette Ireland. Are you based in UK, as I'm looking for Stampin' Up! Demonstrator? Yes, I am, Jeanette. Would be delighted to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I will message you if that's all right, or perhaps if you message me and we can get in touch. That'd be fantastic. I'll send you a catalogue. Do you want a catalogue? Have you got one? Doreen, hi. Thank you for sharing. It's good to have you. So yeah, let's get started. So for our first card, I'm going to be using this cute little envelope die. Okay, so just as I say, these are going to be super simple. Okay, so we start with our Whisper White, or is it Basic White now? I can't remember the name. We've changed it recently. So we've got our white card base, and then we've got a layer of white. So normally, when I do my cards, my layers are, the front here is 10.5 centimeters by 14.5 centimeters. And then I normally have a layer that's 0.5 centimeter smaller, so that's 10 centimeters by 14. And then this one is a layer smaller than that, so that's 9.5 by 13.5. So I'm just going to skip a layer. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to actually include a layer on this or not. So I'm going to just keep that layer there. Okay. And then we've got our little envelope, and this is really easy to put together. So basically what I like to do is just take our glue dots. Okay. And we've got some here. So what I'm going to do is fold. So that's our bottom of our envelope. That's our top. And then I'm going to fold this one over. And that should just hold our envelope together. So it doesn't need lots and lots and lots of glue dots. Just one glue dot here should be sufficient for you. Okay. So that's going to go onto our card like that. And you guys can decide if you think I should do a layer behind or not. Okay, so like I said, I always like your input and comments when I can, and the comments seem to be working okay today, so we'll try and get a bit of interaction going. So now what I've got is I've got all these little hearts that I have die cut, so I'm just going to pop those down there. Okay, and I'm just going to create an explosion basically from our from our envelope. This is pretty random. And then we'll do a red. Oops. Okay, so that's kind of where we're going with this. But what I want to do is I want to create a bit of a background on here. So I'm going to try something here, and if it doesn't work, I'll do something else. So I'm going to take our big heart. So we've got three different shaped sized hearts. This one coordinates with these two outline images. This one coordinates with these two, and this one coordinates with these. So you can do your two-step stamping if you want, or you can just do them individually. So I'm just going to use this stamp, and I'm going to take some Blushing Bride. I'm just going to grab it. I'm just going to grab some Blushing Bride, Blushing Bride. A bit tongue-tied there. So what I'm going to do is to stamp so my Blushing Bride ink pad is actually probably needs re-inking, but that suits me for what I'm trying to do now. Okay. I'm just trying to create a little bit of, it's quite light, I don't know if you can see, but I'm just trying to create a little bit of extra texture, I guess, behind my image. Just build that up. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to use this calls for a celebration sentiment from the Hello Beautiful. Yes to layer. Doreen says layer. Kat says layer. Okay, so we're going for layer. The next question, ladies, is do we want a pink layer or I've got one, a red layer? So I'm going to ask you loads of questions tonight now that our thing seems to be working, our comments. So before we do this, I'm going to create a little bit of sparkle or glimmer. So I'm just going to add a little bit of to our base there, and then I'm going to take our real red ink pad, and like I said, I'm going to use this calls for celebration. So this is the thing, is that, you know, you might look at this stamp set and go, oh, this is all about Valentine's Day. And like me, I don't know about you, but I just don't really do the whole Valentine's thing. Oh, I've took the wrong one. I don't want First of All, You're Amazing. I want this calls for celebration. So this is just, you know, you can team it with other stamp sets, put different sentiment to it. You can never go wrong with hearts. They're just a nice alternative to, there we go. I mean, look at that. That on its own is quite cute, isn't it? So then, I'm just being careful because my Wink of Stella is probably still a little bit smudged. So that's going to go there. And let's bring back in our hearts. So here's where we have to do the whole random thing, which we all like. So pink, pink, red. So I think we've got pink seems to be the consensus. But you've got a few more minutes while I do all of this. So get your votes in. So we're just going to take our dimensionals. And we're going to pop these up. Pop our envelope up. Like so, and then I think we're going to do blue dots for our hearts. So let's just attach these. So tell me, ladies, what are your thoughts on Valentine's Day? Do you send them just to your significant other, or do you send them to friends? Do you have kids who bring them into school? What's your Valentine's requirement for cards? As I said, mine's pretty limited. There we go. And looking at this, I think I need a few pink ones. You could also do these with glitter paper, with glimmer paper, if you wanted. That would also look good. Okay, let's get a red one. Here. Pink, and then I think we'll do a white. Okay, there we go. Close up my red ink pad before I get it everywhere. You're such a romantic, Sue Bishop, but I know exactly what you mean. Let me just get a red piece, hang on. Okay, so Diane wants to see both, wants to check her options. So here it is with red. And here it is with pink. So while you do that, I'm going to add a little bit more bling to this. So I'm going to use our new polished dots, because some of these have a bit of a pinky tinge, which I think will go really nicely on this card. And then we've got some plain ones as well. And let's put one there. And one more there. Okay. So what are we thinking? Oh, red, red, red. Well, good suggestion then to see it in action. So it looks like red is pretty much unanimous now. And I think I agree with you, ladies. Now that I've done, I think what it is the fact that I've done the sentiment in red is what makes it. If I'd stamped the sentiment in pink, then we probably would have chosen differently. But that's the joy of colour coordination, isn't it? And that's the beauty of having inks and cardstock that matches, is that you can just get that really pulled together look. Okay. So yeah, this could be a congratulations card, or it could be a happy birthday card, whatever you wanted. I like that this calls for celebration sentiment for that reason. It could even be an anniversary card, couldn't it? Could be anything. Could be an engagement card, whatever you celebrate for. Yeah. Red, red, red. Yeah, cool. Okay, so there we go. That's our first card, and I've created a massive mess already, so I think it's going to be one of those nights where we just have stuff everywhere, but that's okay. Alrighty, so let me make a little bit of space for myself at least, give myself a fighting chance. Alright, so the next one, I'm going to change things up a little bit, and I'm going to go for a bit of yellow. Okay, so again, we've got the same sized base. Okay, I've got a Daffodil Delight layer, Whisper White layer, and then I've die cut three of our little scalloped circles. Okay, now I'm going to grab our crushed curry. No, I'm going to grab the Daffodil Delight. I'm going to grab our Daffodil Delight ink pads. I'm going to do some tone on tone stamping, and I'm going to use, let me see which one I want to use. Yes, I'm going to use this larger heart image again. So let me just clean it off, because if I go from red, pink to yellow, it will not be good. Make sure my stamp is clean. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to die cut these hearts once I've stamped them, but rather than use up my cardstock, I'm just going to stamp them in the middle of this layer and cut it out, because then I can reuse the layer. Okay, so this just adds a little bit of extra texture to our die cut when we do it. So then I'm going to bring in, right. No, that's too wide, so I'm going to have to go and get my big shot and do that. So I'm just going to grab, so this is the die, and so bear with me, and I'm just going to cut these out. Now I don't know if you can see that, it's quite light, it just gives a bit of extra texture. And in fact, yeah, looking at it, I think I'm going to go with my original thought, which was crushed curry. So crushed curry is just couple of shades darker, and I think that might work better, so let's try that. There we go, you can see that works better. So bear with me 2 seconds while I just cut these out. Chat amongst yourselves. Here we go. So now you can see that my layer still works, and I haven't had to cut myself another piece of card. So what we're going to do is our hearts, I'm just going to go on here like so. But before we do that, I'm going to bring in the, which one is it now? This is the Special Moments stamp set. So this is a one of the celebration rewards. Hi Mary, welcome. Good to see you. So yes, this is one of our celebration rewards, and again, this has just got a great range of sentiments, and I love the little Hello Sunshine. So I'm going to take that, if I can find it, there it is. And I'm just going to ink that up in black. Okay, and we're just going to stamp it on one of our hearts here. There we go. And again, I'm going to create a bit of a background. So for this one, we've got our big, this kind of dotted image. I'm not quite sure what it's supposed to be. And we've got a small one as well. So I'm just going to pop both of those onto my stamp. And I'm going to take I'm going to grab some smoky slate. Again, I just want it quite subtle. Yep. Okay, and we'll just then we can just fill in. So I'm going to take the big one off now because I just want to fill in some gaps. I don't need the big one. There we go, and then we've got, where is it? Just grabbing some ribbon. This is grey granite ribbon, but it should do the trick nonetheless. So I'm not going to create a bow or anything. I just want a piece across the centre, again just for a little bit of texture. So we've got, I don't know if you can see that, I've just put a little bit of snail where I want my ribbon to go, and then we'll just run it across the centre of our card, like that. We'll try and get it straight. There we go. And then we'll assemble our pieces. So we'll grab our dimensionals so we can pop these up. Now, I'd originally thought of putting the Hello Sunshine on the right hand side, but do you think it should go to the right or to the middle? Got to make you guys work tonight now that I can actually have a conversation with you. I know we haven't really been able to do it for the last couple of sessions, so while I assemble our pieces. And now this one. I really like this stamp set, this celebration stamp set. There's just such a wide range of sentiments in here. It's fantastic. So these scalloped circles are from our circles die set. It's got a mix of scalloped circles and plain circles. So now, do we want the Hello Sunshine in the middle? Or to the right? What do we think? I'm just going to grab my card base, which is falling down. Middle, says Kat. Okay, and then while you do that, I just want to grab some, I think we need a little bit of blingy bling on here as well. So I'm just going to grab just my regular little rhinestones. That should be fine for us. So just grab my take a pick tool. So any advances on middle, everybody says middle. You're all very symmetrical in nature. Very good. Okay, so go. So let's get our hearts, or get our pieces down. And in fact, before I do this, what I'm going to do is, if I line up my middle one, then I can make sure that the others are even on either side of it. So let's move that aside for a moment. I mean, look at that. Even like that is nice. I'm just going to glue that down. Might change my mind actually and just have one heart. Let me think about it for a minute. This is what happens, isn't it? You start with an idea in your mind, and then as you assemble it, you kind of think, ooh, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could do that. Yeah, I know, Sue. I have to say, in terms of symmetrical, you'll have noticed actually from my cards that a lot of them are a little bit asymmetrical. I like to put stuff usually over to the right, which is why I started where I did with this one. So there we go, that's that. And then we'll just add a couple more. Oops. And you know what, we need a little one just there, don't we? So I'm going to risk ruining my whole card by breaking my cardinal rule, which is don't fiddle with it. So wish me luck. There we go. Oop. That looks better. And then we'll just glue that down onto our white card base. So Sue, if I was you, keep trying with the asymmetrical, because I have to say, personally, I find it much more pleasing than symmetrical. From a design point of view, it's much more pleasing to the eye. Not always the right way. Sometimes symmetrical is best, but it's definitely worth being able to go asymmetric. Opens up a whole load of other possibilities for you in your crafting. Okay, so that's card number 2. Okay, so next up, so again, I'm just trying to stick with non-traditional colours here, instead of just the always pink and red. So my next card is using grey and red. So this is a really simple card. So again, my Whisper White base, and I have a Smoky Slate layer, and then I have and then I've got my Whisper White layer, and then ahead of time I've die cut these hearts in grey. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line these up like so. So this kind of got a sort of a masculine sort of a feel to it, and then I'm going to use just a card to say you're amazing. Okay, just a card to say you're amazing, and just checking. I think yes, will it fit? Yes, so I'm going to die cut this, Stampin' die cut it. So I'm just going to grab a scrap of white right here. Okay, and I'm going to stamp this in red. Grab my red ink. I'm not brave enough on this one to actually risk such a large sentiment on my card front. Okay. There we go, and then I'm going to die cut it. Actually, I need to do that again. I stamped it too close to the edge there. I'm going to move it out. There we go. So that's how I want it. Okay, so let's bring in my washing machine. It should fit through my mini boss machine. Okay. So I don't know if you can see that, but I'm trying to line it up so that my sentiment is at, I've got a bit of a gap at this side of my sentiment. And I've stamped it not straight, so I have to cut it not straight. Okay. So again, this banner, you could use it on all sorts of cards. Can't go wrong with a good little banner for your sentiments. Okay. Alrighty. And then I've got some white hearts that I've cut out previously. So just to create, like I said, just a little bit of texture without taking away from the simplicity of the card. And I think maybe a little bit of ribbon, just a little. Here's one of my go-to ribbons, which is my crinkle seam binding, my white crinkle seam binding. Okay, and I just want a tiny little piece. Okay, let's pop that behind there. Yep. Okay, so now I'm happy with the layout. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach all of these. So again, I think this is just a really nice, simple masculine card. Would make a nice Valentine's card, actually, without doing the whole Happy Valentine's Day. Or just to brighten somebody's day. Right, apologies for that, ladies. Somebody was trying to call me. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my sentiment strip as the anchor point, because that has to be in the right place, and then I can put everything else around it. Ooh, I can see I've got hearts there. Nice. I'm going to curl the edge there a little bit. So when I do my banners, I do like to curl them a little bit. Pop that there, like so. And then we'll put a little bit of snail down. Just to hold our ribbon in place. Okay, and then we'll put our red one down. So when I'm putting these down, I'm not, my back, yes. So I'm not pressing them down because I want to make sure that I'm happy with their positioning. So if I just place them down, I can still move them around. There we go. Happy with that. So now I place them, and then we're going to grab our glue dots. There we go. Okay, and then I'll just attach this to our smoky slate base. Layer, I should say. And then we'll add this to our base. Okay, and then I think it needs one more thing, which is going to bring in our polished dots, and I'm just going to add one of our clear ones. Oh, I've taken one off, hang on. Just trying to, here we go. There we are. And I think for a final touch we'll do a bit of Wink of Stella spritzing. There we go. Card number 3. Red and grey. Yep. Pink and grey is great too, though, Sue. But yes, I think it's pops. I think grey is a nice alternative to black. I think black and red, it's very popular, but I think it can, for me anyway, it can be a bit harsh. I think grey and red is a lot more elegant. Right, now, so for our final card, let's see now. So we're going to start. So this is one where I haven't decided yet what layer I want on here. Okay, and I might do a bit of extra die cutting too. So we've got our white, and I'm going to bring these in. So I've got these white like borders. Okay, so I'm going to pop them like so. I think 4 might be enough. And then I've got my, in fact, what I'm going to do is have a larger heart punch, and I'm going to punch that from Pool Party. Okay, it's going to go on there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these dies, wherever I've put them, and I'm going to cut out, what I want to cut out is some hearts to fill these in. So all of these cut out hearts that are about the same size. So if I bring in my, let's put that to one side. Bring in my cut and emboss machine. I'm going to cut all these out. Okay, now I might want another colour to go with this. I'm thinking yellow We could go pink. We could do something entirely different. So whilst I'm doing die cutting, what second colour would you like to see on here? I've got pink and red already, but we can cut a load more of different colours if you want. So let me hear your suggestions whilst I do this. Okay, so you can see this is what it gives us. So we get our, so this is our long one, and then we've got a vertical one, and then we've got a little short horizontal one, and then we've got all these pool party hearts. Okay, so let's see what colour you guys are feeling. Bermuda Bay, says Kat. Oh, that's a good idea. It's ages since I've used Bermuda Bay. I'm just going to have a quick tidy up while you guys have a think about what colours you might want to see. And then I can go get the relevant scraps for you. But let's just make sure I know I'm going to lose some dies here if I'm not careful. So it doesn't matter how much space I give myself or how big my thingy is, my desk is, it never, ever, ever seems to be enough. Do you guys have that problem? I think I know the answer to that one, actually. There's never enough space for crafting, is there? Okay. Let's see, so do we have any advances on Bermuda Bay from Kat? Let's have a look at the comments. I'm going to do some yellow while you guys are thinking. It won't do any harm to have a load of little hearts on hand. For future reference, they're always useful to have. So they won't go to waste if we decide not to use them. And then on the basis of whatever colours we choose, then I think that'll determine what kind of layer we want to put on the back. Okay, so let me grab a scrap of Bermuda Bay, Kat, and we can see any advances on Bermuda Bay. Let's have a look. Bermuda Bay, says Sue. Right, let's get some Bermuda Bay. Okay, so I think because our main heart is yellow, or is pool party, I think we'll go with a pool party base layer. So let me just grab one of those. Okay. And then let's bring in our hearts. So we've got a few pool party, a few Bermuda Bay, and a few yellow. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down my my white pieces. So for that, I'm going to grab my silicone mat and pretty disgusting sponge, if I'm honest, and a little bit of glue. Okay, so with delicate dies like this, you don't need a lot of glue. So I'm not going to use a lot of glue. The main thing here is to try and get these on here straight. If I get the first one right, the others should follow. That's the theory. I'm just bringing them in kind of from opposite sides of the card and offsetting them slightly. I think I might need that fifth one because I've not spaced them out as much as I had on my when I laid it out, but that's fine. Okay, tiny bit more glue. Okay, that'll do for that. And then I'm not going to fill in all of my hearts. So you can see my hearts are slightly different shapes, so just got to be careful which ones I pick. And then I'm going to pool party here. I'm going to yellow one there, and pool party here. Yeah, I think, do we want Bermuda Bay here? Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to do a bit of stamping on here. So I'm going to bring back in my, where's my stamp set? This is the special moments. So let's see what we've got in here that will, I like that I couldn't wait for a special occasion. Let's see if that will fit. Yes, that will work. So let's get our Bermuda Bay ink. And now let's adhere our pieces. So we only need the slightest little dab of glue on the back of our pieces. I could use my silicone mat for this bit, but I've put it away and I don't really want to walk across to the other side of the room to get it again, so we'll just go with what we've got. Go. And then we're going to pop our large heart up. Before we do that, let's bring in our ribbon, and let that just add another little bit of subtle texture. So my favorite zigzag. It's one of the easiest ways. I'm making a meal of it here, but this is one of the easiest ways to put to get ribbon onto your card without faffing about with bows. The reason it's being a pain for me is because my hands are sticky. Okay. So again, I'm just going to put a little bit of snail down. And the reason I like to use snail is because it means I can rearrange my ribbon if I want to, like I'm doing right now. There we go. Hi Jewel, good to have you with us. Welcome. There we go, and I'm just going to trim the ends. And again, just a few little rhinestones. Where will I put them? Somewhere. Everything is somewhere. Ah, there they are. They're behind me. Just like in the pantomime. Go. So this is my final card. So you ladies know what's coming next. You're going to need to choose your favourite. So let me finish this one off, and then I'll bring our others in. There we go. So, oh, there we go. That's been destined to happen tonight. So let's bring in our cards. So we had card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, or card number 4. So let's have your votes. And whilst you're doing that, let me just remind you, hopefully, so normal service will be resumed next week for Facebook Live on Wednesday. Don't forget to sign up for the paper share. And like I said, I've got a couple of spots left for the monthly stamp club. So I need a couple more in order to run it. So if you're thinking about it, or you're on the fence, or you want to know more, just drop me a message and we can chat. But I would say I would definitely recommend this as a great way to build your supplies without breaking the bank and being able to enjoy them all along the way. So let's have a look and see what we've got. Sue Bishop can't choose again. Let's have a look. Mary says 1, 3, 4, 2. Kat says 1, 2, 3, 4. Doreen says 1, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so I think number 1 seems to be a bit of a winner tonight, but the rest are thereabouts. So I'm glad you enjoyed them. So just to remind you, that is the Sweet Conversations stamp set and dies that we've been playing with from the new spring summer catalogue. So do make sure to get your orders in. Finally, a reminder of my prize draw. Entries close on the 25th for this. So to win a £50 shopping spree, there are a couple of things you can do. You can place an order, you can sign up for the stamp club, you can sign up for the paper share, and you can sign up as a demonstrator. So any of those things will get you entries into the shopping spree, and I will announce the winners next week on next week's Facebook Live. So thank you very much, everybody. It's been a lovely evening as always. I'm delighted that we've been able to chat and share comments along the way. It's made it much more fun for me anyway, hopefully for you too. And I will see you all again next week. Bye.